Hello, lovelies. This is Chrissy cooking at home, and I'm Chrissy. Shocking, I know, but I digress. I am still in the fall into sourdough this month of September collaboration that Fermented Homestead Anna is putting on. Lots of collaborators and lots of experience levels and lots of recipes, and it's just really awesome. I love sourdough. 6 a.m. I'm running behind. My mind is moving faster than I am. So the boys are asleep. Sweetheart and Logan's asleep. I need to get this sourdough bread going because I need to also make some of my lard buttermilk biscuits for dinner. But I wanted to make some bread. And I am making a sourdough rye bread with my starter. So excited. I love rye. I love sourdough. I have this cookbook from 1984. This is when it's copyrighted. And I love this cookbook. It's just breads. There's lots of sourdough recipes. Excuse me. I have a busy day today. I have a lot to get done before noon. I've only got 6 hours. Holy crap. So let's get started. I'm doing first, slow your brain down, Chrissy. 1.5 cups warm water into my beast of a KitchenAid mixing bowl. Okay. Into that, we are going to do 2 teaspoons. Right? Yeah. 2.5. Because it's an old cookbook, and it says to use one of those packets. So one of those packets is approximately 2.5 teaspoons. It's just under a tablespoon. At least the ones I always got. And I have this. I don't have packets. I have good stuff. Okay. Get the yeast out of the way. And it says, dissolve yeast in water. Bring starter to room temp. It's already room temp. It's been at room temp. Not that one. That one. Stir in rye flour, sugar, butter, salt, caraway, and starter. So let's get our starter in first. Actually, no. I only pulled out one of my 1 cup measuring cups. I already stirred this morning when I was standing here doing dinner dishes. I was just too tired last night to do dinner dishes, and as I've said in other videos, I'm the dishwasher. We don't have a dishwasher. So what I have here is King Arthur organic rye flour. It's the only rye flour I can find in any of my grocery stores because I don't do Walmart, and I don't know what Walmart carries. And it's good flour. It's King Arthur. So we got our rye flour, which is 3 cups. There's one. There's probably about a 1/4 cup left in that bag, but let's look at my other bag. I was digging through my spice cabinet, crossing my fingers and my toes, hoping I had caraway, because I thought I'd used it all on my last rye bread recipe that I had created. So that's 2. I need to get a container for my rye flour if I'm going to keep using it, like I do for my sugars and cornmeal and flour, my AP flour. Oh, once again, guys, nobody told me to put on an apron. Chrissy needs an apron, like, seriously. It's one of those days, like, I'm even having a bad hair day. I've been trying to fight with my straightener, get my hair straight. Alright. That's not what I wanted to do. Slow your brain, Chrissy. Slow your brain. I like to tie in front because I like to tuck in towel. So I can have something to wipe my hands on. Other than my apron. My nose itches. Like on the outside, like out here. Like something's tickling it. 1/4 cup of sugar. There. Okay, scoop goes back in. That goes on the stove. Butter, 3 tablespoons. Soft. See it? Squishy, soft butter. Paper towel here. I need to stop mumbling. Caraway. This is all I have. Woohoo! You can increase this, decrease this, whatever. This is making 2 loaves. So I'm going to do 2 teaspoons, which is, I think exactly, it's exactly what I have left. 2 teaspoons caraway. Okay. Put this tube back. And then it said 1 cup of starter, right? Yeah. It smells good. So many bubbles in there too. It's bubbling and brewing and it's alive. I'm a dork, I know it. I just splooshed it everywhere. Okay. AP flour and baking soda. Some of the yeast is sticking. So my teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda. Okay. Good thing I have many mismatched sets of measuring cups. I recently had 2 of my 1 cup measuring cups, the plastic ones. The handles broke off. Logan's a little rough on them because he measures and weighs his food for his insulin. So he uses the measuring cups a lot. He's 11. He's going to be rough. So I have it in my Amazon cart right now. A brand new set of what looks like really nice stainless steel. Okay, now it says mix with a spoon, but I don't mix with spoons when it comes to bread. So I have my rubber scraper paddle. And I'm mixing this together. And then it says, mix in as much of the rest of the flour, the AP flour in as possible if you can. So we're not going to overtax our motor. We're going to do 1 cup at a time. And it says for a total of 3 to 3.5 cups. Total. There's 1 more cup, so that's 2 cups. I just go with this until I barely see any residual flour. So this would be 3 cups. It's humid out. So humid. It's been raining. Little Logan woke up. Anyways, I finished mixing in that flour. It started to make the motor slow down. You can hear it. Whoa, whoa. So I took off the paddle. I'm getting ready to put on the. So that's what it looks like right now. It's not super tacky, but it's still kind of tacky. So I think we're going to need that other 1/2 cup. I think. bowl up. Slow. Yeah, I'm just going to do a 1/4 cup of flour. Focus. Thank you. Okay, it's not climbing the hook. It's coming together as one cohesive ball. So we're going to let this mix in the kneading with the dough hook, doing the kneading for me since my hands are crap, for 10 minutes. And I'm not going to keep you on here for 10 minutes. I'll bring you back, okay? I need to slow my brain to flip down. I forgot salt. Salt. It's a yeast bread. Do we want it to explode? 2 teaspoons of salt. Like, as soon as I turned off the camera, I set the timer for 10 minutes and I looked at the book real quick and I'm like, I forgot salt. So hopefully it mixes in the salt really good. It was supposed to go in, if you try this recipe, it was supposed to go in with the starter, the butter, the sugar, and that first cup of flour. 2 teaspoons salt. Hopefully you don't do a me and forget salt. Luckily I had it sitting out. I'll bring you back. Alright, so that's been 10 minutes. Kids and their phones. That's been 10 minutes. It is done kneading. I mixed up my biscuits for later. If you want to see the large biscuits, just go to my baking playlist. So what I'm going to do is I can tolerate this much with my hands, because I'm going to pull it out of this bowl. Okay, pretty clean bowl. And I'm just going to kind of, ooh, it's nice and elastic, soft. This is going to be good. Okay, just going to make it into a nice, smooth ball. See that? Look how pretty. Then we're going to grease the same bowl. Since I'm the dishwasher, the less dishes that I have to do, the better. You can use oil, you can use Crisco. I happen to have my lard out for the biscuits, so I'm just going to use a little lard to grease my bowl. Yep, using the fingers. If you don't want to use your fingers for this part, just paper towel works great. Just fold it into a little square, and then scoop up some of your greasing material. how much is in there? It's almost to the top. Almost. Hold on. I know I'm going to get greasy again, but it's okay. It's bugging me. Okay, so let's pick up our beautiful ball of dough. Flop it in. Grab hold and turn. Make sure it's really well coated. You don't want it to dry out. That's the thing. You want it to, you know, a nice moisture to it. Clean towel. Towel. And then put this in a nice warm draft-free place for an hour and a half, the book says. Now, my warm place is a proof function on my oven, a bread proofing function. Because that's what we're doing with the rising. You're proofing it. So we're going to let it proof 45 minutes to start in my proofing function and then go from there, but we need it doubled. Make sense? I'll bring you back in a while. Okay. Mine went a little crazy. Makes me wonder about the salt. All right, you ready to see this? This is like tripled in size. Because you see how it's a 6-quart bowl. Ta 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 ta. Okay. I ended up forgetting about it. I got busy working on a new crochet pattern. So we divided it into two. We're just going to make 2 balls. Okay. And doing this helps break up like really big air bubbles. Okay. Normally I would weigh these. I think I'm going to. One looks really big. Okay. I put it on grams. 836. 712. So this is 25.11 ounces. 29. So took off about 2 ounces from that one. Just going to stick it in the center there. All right. That looks better. We're going to cover with a towel, the clean towel we used for the bowl. And we're going to let rest 10 minutes. And then we're going to shape it, put it in our greased loaf pans, and then we're going to let it rise or proof for a second time. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. They got bigger. Okay. Start with the slightly smaller one. I'm just kind of patting it into the shape of a loaf. Now I'm pressing it into the loaf pan. These are just your basic standard loaf pans, nothing expensive, nothing fancy. There is a fancy expensive bread pan that I want, but maybe someday. Got things coming up that are more financially important than a $75 loaf pan, or was it 65? I don't know, maybe 45. Still, that's a lot of money for a pan, a bread pan. I could justify it if I made bread every single day or every other day, but right now it's just and I wish I could get that right now just so I can have it. I didn't shake this one, I just threw it in. It is going on 8. Just keep pushing it into the corners. This one shrunk back from the corners. Okay. Can you see them? It's about halfway up the sides of the pan. Now I gotta get my biscuits baking for lunch. And this proofed really high up. You saw how high up it was on the proof function. So I'm just gonna leave it on the counter. It's fairly warm in here. We had to turn the furnace on. It got cold. So I have the oven preheating for my biscuits. Let's see. Let rise an hour or until doubled. And then we're going to bake at 375 for 35 to 40 minutes. Now it may take less time for me. And it says that the last 10 minutes, if it starts to get too brown, to put foil over top. Okay. Check this book. See how old it is? It is old. It's as old as me. I'm old. So, well, that book's a year younger than me. I'm a little older than the book. But we'll see how this goes. See you in an hour or so. I went ahead and got my oven preheated to 375, and this is where we're at. These just come to the top, slightly, the bigger one's slightly above top, but now we're going to pop them in the oven. Make sure there's adequate space all around them for airflow. Now, doing the convection setting, and this is a book from before convection setting was a popular thing. So 35 to 40 minutes. I'm going to check mine at 20 because it said it could get too brown, you know, if it gets too brown too quickly at the end, last 10 minutes, put foil. So I'm just going to set the timer for not 2 minutes, 20. There we go, 20 minutes. And I will bring you back when it is all said and done. And I turn them out onto a cooling rack. Okay, doke. Super excited. Cannot wait for some sourdough rye toast with some of my homemade watermelon jam or my lemon balm jelly. It's almost time to make more lemon balm jelly, which means I can share with you that recipe and bring you along for that one. I haven't done any jelly recipes yet for YouTube. We'll get there. Okay, rye bread is out of the oven. Our sourdough rye, it's warm, but cool to the touch. So, what's on this thing? bread knife disappeared. Yeah, it disappeared. Oh, no, it's right. I was going to use my watermelon knife because it's serrated. But here's my other bread knife. I wonder how thin we can cut this. Smells like rye. I might have to make some Reubens with this. All right, I cut it this thin. It's holding up, even though it's warm. It's holding up. It's got a nice crumb to it. Now, bread's really heavy in my sleeve, so that's what they're called. When I had weight loss surgery for the sleeve, the VSG, vertical sleeve gastrectomy. That thing, the VSG. Breads and pastas sit heavy in my sleeve. It's not necessarily the same for everybody. A little sweeter than I would like. But overall, that's a good recipe. I think I would next time take the caraway seeds, since they're whole, put them in my mortar and pestle and kind of grind it up just lightly. But it's got a great crumb to it, firmness. It's not dense, but it's fluffy. I like it. It'll make some great Reubens. I do this Reuben casserole. It's low carb. So it's just take your Reuben innards, mix it all together. Kinda. You take the Thousand Island and the sauerkraut, you mix it together, plop it in a dish, then you top it with the corned beef or pastrami, whichever your choice is, and then you top it with Swiss cheese, and you bake it until hot, bubbly, melty, gooey goodness. And then, because I have an issue with too much bread, half a slice is good for me, if I even finish that, because I like the innards of the Reuben so much. That way Sweetheart can toast as much rye bread as he wants and just keep scooping this stuff out onto his bread. So, ways around things. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, like it, subscribe, comment. I'd greatly appreciate it. Until next time, bye lovelies.